Imagine you're going through your spare change one afternoon, casually sorting through coins when you come across something that could be worth a small fortune. It's a 1970 Lincoln penny, an unassuming coin, yet one that has caught the attention of collectors and investors alike and could be worth as much as $867,000. Yes, you heard that right. In today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into the incredible story of this rare penny and show you how it could potentially make you a small fortune if you find one. So, keep watching because this just might be the treasure you've been unknowingly sitting on. Historical background. To understand why the 1970 Lincoln penny is so valuable, it's important to look at the history behind this coin. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, originally designed by Victor David Brenner to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the years, the penny has undergone various changes in design and composition, but by 1970, the U.S. Mint was already producing billions of pennies each year to meet the demands of a growing economy. The 1970 penny, specifically, was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing the U.S. Mint's coins. However, it was a particular issue with this coin's production that has made it so sought after by collectors. Why was this coin created? In 1970, the U.S. government was looking to address a coin shortage. The mint had already started producing higher numbers of pennies in the late 1960s, but there was a critical need for more circulation. The 1970 penny was part of that effort to keep up with the demand. However, during the production process, something unusual happened, an error that would make this penny a rare find and ultimately one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever. How to identify a genuine 1970 Lincoln penny? So, how do you know if you have this potentially valuable coin in your pocket? There are several key things to look for. Mint mark. First and foremost, the penny must have the D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint. Without this D, it's just a regular penny from 1970, which is not worth a fortune. The error, the most important distinguishing feature of this coin, is a rare, unintentional error during its production. Some 1970 pennies were struck with a very noticeable doubled die. This means that the image on the coin, particularly the date, appears to be doubled because of a misalignment of the dies used to strike the coin. If you examine the date closely, you should be able to see the doubling effect. Condition. The overall condition of the coin is another important factor. Look for a penny that is in relatively good condition. While even worn coins can be valuable, a pristine, uncirculated one will fetch much higher prices. Key details. Now, let's go over the key details of this coin that you should be aware of. Weight. A typical 1970 Lincoln penny weighs 2.5 grams as it is made of a copper alloy composition. Material. The 1970 penny is primarily made of copper with a small amount of zinc mixed in, which was standard for pennies made during this time period. Mint marks. As mentioned, the D mint mark indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint. Without this mint mark, the coin could be worth far less. Why is this coin so rare and valuable? The rarity and value of the 1970 Lincoln penny come from its unique error. While most coins of this type were minted without the doubling, a select few were struck with this error, making them extremely rare. These coins are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in mint errors, which is a niche within the broader coin collecting community. Another reason this penny holds such value is its connection to the Lincoln cents legacy. The Lincoln penny has always been one of the most collected coins in American history, and any unusual error or anomaly involving it tends to attract significant attention. When you combine rarity, historical significance, and an error that makes the coin visually distinctive, it becomes a treasure in the eyes of coin collectors and investors. Current market value. So, how much is a 1970 Lincoln penny worth? The value of these rare coins can vary depending on their condition. Worn or circulated coins. Even coins that are worn or heavily circulated can still fetch a respectable amount, usually a few $100s. Thanks to their rarity and the error involved. Uncirculated coins. If you happen to find a 1970 penny in mint condition, especially one with the double die error, you could be looking at several $1,000s. Coins in this condition can sometimes go for $20,000 to $50,000 depending on the exact characteristics of the error. Certified coins. If the penny is professionally graded and certified by a coin grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), it can dramatically increase in value. Some have been sold at auction for as much as $867,000, with one particular coin making headlines for its record-breaking sale. Real auction examples. To give you a real-world example, A 1970 Lincoln penny with the double die error was sold at an auction for a jaw-dropping $867,000. This was for an uncirculated specimen in nearly perfect condition. The coin's rarity, historical significance, and the fact that it was in pristine condition made it a highly valuable piece for collectors. It's not every day that a penny can fetch such a high price, which makes this discovery all the more exciting for anyone who might find one. Conclusion: so, could this rare penny make you rich? It's certainly possible, especially if you happen to find one that's in excellent condition or has the double die error. Whether it's tucked away in your change jar or buried in a drawer, there's a chance that a 1970 Lincoln penny could be waiting for you to discover it, and when you do, it could be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The bottom line is simple: take a moment to check your pocket change, dig through those old coin collections, and look for any signs of this rare coin. Who knows, you might just stumble upon the find of a lifetime, and if you want to keep learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. We'll keep you updated on all the latest news in the world of coin collecting and help you spot the next big treasure. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Call to action: don't forget to check your change for rare coins like the 1970 Lincoln penny. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more. You never know, your next big find could be just around the corner. Imagine you're walking through your house, cleaning up a drawer, or going through some spare change, and you stumble across a penny. But not just any penny. This penny could be worth a fortune. Yes, I'm talking about the 1978 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has recently sold for a staggering $867,000. This is not a fantasy, it's a reality in the world of rare coins. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this incredibly valuable penny and why you might want to start checking your spare change more carefully. To understand why the 1978 Lincoln penny is so valuable, we need to take a step back and look at the history of the coin. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909, has been a cornerstone of American currency for over a century. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design itself has remained relatively unchanged, though small updates and variations have been introduced over the years. In 1978, the U.S. Mint was still producing millions of pennies each year to meet the demand of the economy. But in that particular year, a rare and unexpected error occurred, leading to the creation of a very special coin. This penny with the D mint mark was supposed to be part of the normal coinage. But due to a minting error, some of these coins came out with unique characteristics that would make them highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about how you can identify this particular penny in your collection or spare change. At first glance, it might look like just another regular penny, but there are a few key features you need to look out for. The mint mark. The most important feature to identify is the D mint mark. This mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The mint mark is located to the right of Abraham Lincoln's portrait, just beneath the date. The year, of course, the year is also crucial. It needs to be from 1978. However, not all 1978 pennies are worth this kind of money, only the ones with specific minting errors or other rare features. The errors: the rarest and most valuable 1978 pennies feature a minting error, where the design is misaligned or the coin is struck multiple times, which can result in double images, missing elements, or other unique characteristics. These errors are what make the coin incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. Before you get too excited, let's take a look at the key details of the 1978 Lincoln penny so you can be sure you have the right coin in hand. Weight: like most pennies, the 1978 Lincoln penny weighs 2.5 grams. Material: the penny is made of copper-plated zinc, a material that has been used in U.S. pennies since 1982. But it's important to note that some earlier pennies made from pure copper have higher value due to their metal content. Size: the diameter of the penny is 19 millimeters, which is standard for all Lincoln pennies. Mint mark: as we've discussed, the mint mark is located on the reverse side of the coin, beneath the year. Make sure it's a D to confirm it came from the Denver Mint. So why is this 1978 Lincoln penny worth so much? Well, the key factor is the error that occurred during its minting. These errors are not common, and most of the pennies that were struck in 1978 were minted normally. But in certain cases, the Denver Mint made mistakes that resulted in coins being minted in such a way that they are now considered a rare find in the world of numismatics or coin collecting. What makes these errors so valuable is that they are unique. While other rare coins might have been intentionally created or overproduced in some way, these 1978 pennies with minting errors were unintended and accidental, which gives them an added sense of rarity and intrigue. Now, let's talk about the money. How much could you expect to make from a 1978 Lincoln penny? Well, the answer depends on the condition of the coin. Worn or circulated condition: if your penny has been used and shows signs of wear and tear, it will be worth far less than an uncirculated one. A regular, worn 1978 penny might only be worth a few cents, just like most common pennies. Uncirculated condition: if the coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition, it will fetch a higher price, possibly in the range of $50 to $100 depending on the market and demand at the time. Certified and error coins: however, if you happen to find one of the rare, error-struck 1978 pennies and it is in pristine, certified condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars. In fact, one of these rare coins has sold for as much as $867,000 at an auction. The value increases even more if the coin has been professionally graded and certified by a reputable organization like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). Let's look at some real-world examples to give you an idea of how much these coins have sold for. In 2018, a 1978 Lincoln penny with a notable error sold for over $100,000. And in more recent years, the highest sale reached nearly $867,000, which proves that this coin's value is not just a fluke, it's a genuine market phenomenon. These sales have gotten the attention of both collectors and investors, and they continue to fuel interest in the 1978 penny, making it a highly sought-after coin in the numismatic community. So here's the takeaway: if you come across a 1978 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. Look for the mint mark, check the condition, and see if there's any sign of a rare error. If you find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. If you're lucky enough to find a coin that is error-struck or in uncirculated condition, you could make a substantial amount of money. Even if it doesn't reach the $500,000 mark, it might still be worth far more than you expected. Before you rush out to your local coin shop or online auction site, I urge you to carefully inspect your change and check your coin collection. With a bit of patience, you just might stumble upon a valuable gem. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated on more tips, rare finds, and information about coin collecting. Check your pennies, who knows? You could be the next lucky person to discover a rare, valuable treasure in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something truly exciting to talk about. An incredible coin that could potentially make you a small fortune. If you're a fan of coins, or even if you just happen to have some pennies lying around, you'll want to hear about this rare find. Imagine this: you go through your spare change, and there it is, sitting in front of you, a 1986 Abraham Lincoln penny. But not just any penny. This one is a rare version, one without a mint mark, and it's worth up to $867,000. That's right. A penny from 1986 could be worth a small fortune. Stick with me as we dive into the history, value, and how you can identify this rare treasure in your own collection. Historical background. To understand why this particular penny is so valuable, let's take a step back and look at some history. The Abraham Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, it's become one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1986 penny, like most pennies, was produced at the U.S. Mint. However, unlike many other pennies from the same year, this one has an interesting story behind it. In 1986, the U.S. Mint accidentally released a small batch of Lincoln pennies that were missing a mint mark. The small letter, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, typically stamped onto the coin to show where it was produced. Normally, coins without a mint mark are extremely rare. In fact, most U.S. coins have some form of mint mark to indicate their origin. So, when a penny like this slips through the cracks, it becomes highly collectible. How to identify a genuine 1986 no mint mark penny? Now, you may be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare 1986 pennies? Let's go over some key details that can help you identify a genuine version of this coin. First, let's look at the basic design. The obverse, front, of the coin should feature a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse back of the coin, you'll see the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial. The most important thing to check is the mint mark. The 1986 penny should normally have a mint mark on the front, right below Lincoln's shoulder. But for the valuable, rare version we're talking about today, that mint mark is missing. No D or S. It's just blank. In addition, make sure to verify the weight and material of the coin. A standard penny from 1986 weighs 2.5 grams and is made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. These specifications are crucial because they help ensure you're not mistaking your rare penny for something else. Why is this coin so rare and valuable? So, why is the 1986 no mint mark penny so rare and valuable? The reason is simple. It's a mistake. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes are often the most valuable. When a coin is produced with an error, especially a minting error like this one, it becomes a collector's item. And since there are so few of these 1986 pennies without a mint mark, their rarity drives up their value. The US Mint produces billions of pennies every year, but it's not common to see a mistake like this. As a result, when a coin like this escapes into circulation, it can fetch incredible amounts of money. Some collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for just one of these pennies. Market value. Now, let's talk about the current market value. A standard 1986 penny in good condition might be worth just 1 cent, nothing special. However, a 1986 penny without a mint mark, especially if it's in uncirculated or near mint condition, can be worth anywhere between $100,000 to $867,000. The value depends on several factors, including its condition. A coin that has been heavily circulated or worn down will typically be worth less. On the other hand, a coin that is in uncirculated or pristine condition will be worth far more. In fact, a certified example of the 1986 no mint mark penny in top-notch condition has been known to sell for well over $500,000 at auctions. Real examples of sales. To give you a sense of how valuable these pennies can be, let me share some real examples. In 2017, a 1986 no mint mark penny sold for $867,000 at an auction. That's a staggering amount for a coin that only cost 1 cent when it was originally produced. Similarly, in 2019, another 1986 penny without a mint mark was sold for just under $600,000. These sales demonstrate just how highly sought after these coins are by collectors. So, if you happen to have one of these rare pennies sitting in a jar or a drawer, it could be worth a small fortune. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1986 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a true hidden treasure. If you find one, you could be holding on to a coin worth up to $867,000. It's all about knowing what to look for. Check for the missing mint mark, verify the weight and material, and make sure your penny is in good condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone looking through your spare change, this could be the lucky find that changes your life. So, take a few moments to go through your pennies and see if you've got one of these rare coins. And don't forget, if you want to stay updated on more coin collecting tips and valuable finds like this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You never know what hidden treasures might be sitting in your collection, and we'll be here to help you find them. Thank you for watching and happy coin hunting. Call to action. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and everything related to the world of coin collecting. Who knows? Your next video could be the one that helps you find your own treasure. Hello and welcome. Have you ever heard of a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today we're going to talk about one such coin, the 2007 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which has been known to sell for up to $867,000. Yes, you heard that right. This small, humble penny could be worth more than a house in some places. But how do you know if you have one? And what makes this coin so valuable? Stay tuned because we're going to dive deep into all of that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at the history behind this coin. The Abraham Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and has been a part of American currency ever since. Now, the 2007 penny was a special one because it marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released a series of Lincoln pennies, each showing a different stage of Lincoln's life. The 2007 mint mark penny that we're discussing today is one of those coins, but it stands out from the rest because it has a significant error, an error that has made it highly sought after by collectors. So, how do you identify a genuine 2007 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and what makes this particular coin different from others? The first thing to look for is the mint mark, which is located right below the date on the obverse side of the coin, the side with Lincoln's portrait. If you see a D there, it means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. This mint mark is crucial because the rare and valuable version of this penny comes from the Denver Mint. Now, let's talk about something important. What makes this coin so special isn't just the mint mark, it's the error. Some of these 2007 Lincoln pennies were accidentally struck with an incorrect die, resulting in a double die error. This means that the inscriptions on the coin, like Liberty and In God We Trust, are doubled or blurred. This error can be difficult to spot with the naked eye, but if you have a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, you'll notice the doubling on the letters. Let's break down the key details of this coin. A standard Lincoln penny, including the 2007 version, weighs about 2.5 grams and is made of copper-plated zinc. The composition and weight are important because they help ensure the authenticity of the coin. If you find a penny that weighs significantly more or less than 2.5 grams, it could be a counterfeit or altered coin, so be cautious. As mentioned before, the coin has the D mint mark, which signifies it was struck in Denver. In addition, the date on the coin should read 2007. It's important to note that the error we're talking about typically appears on uncirculated or near-mint condition coins, so if you're looking through your spare change and find a worn penny, it's less likely to be the rare one. So, why is the 2007 Lincoln penny so rare and valuable? Well, the rarity comes from the double die error. When these coins were struck, there was an issue with the die used to mint them, which led to the doubling of the letters and other inscriptions on the coin. This error wasn't caught at the mint, and as a result, only a small number of these flawed pennies made it into circulation. Because they were produced in limited quantities and because they were not immediately identified as valuable, many of these pennies were either spent or lost over time. As with any rare collectible, scarcity plays a big role in value. When collectors and investors realized the mistake and started looking for these coins, the value skyrocketed. The 2007 Lincoln penny with the double die error became a highly sought-after item for coin collectors. Now, let's talk about the current market value. The value of a 2007 Lincoln penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. A well-worn, circulated penny might only be worth a few dollars, certainly more than its face value, but nothing close to the high-end prices some of these coins have reached. However, if you're lucky enough to have one in uncirculated condition, especially if it has been certified by a professional grading service, you could be looking at a significant payout. Coins that have been certified with a high grade, say MS 65 or above, can fetch anywhere from $500 to $867,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, $867,000. In fact, one of these rare 2007 Lincoln pennies was sold for nearly that amount at a major auction. For example, a particular penny that was graded MS 67 and had the double die error fetched $867,000. But don't get too excited just yet. Finding a coin in such pristine condition is very rare. However, it's worth keeping your eyes peeled. To give you an idea of just how much these coins can sell for, let's take a look at some real-life auction results. In 2018, a 2007 double die error penny was sold for $67,000. Another coin with the same error, graded MS 65, sold for about $20,000 in 2017. And as we mentioned earlier, the highest known sale price for one of these coins was nearly $867,000 for a coin in pristine condition. So what's the takeaway from all of this? If you happen to find a 2007 Lincoln penny in your change, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. But keep in mind, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition with the double die error is very rare. If you do come across one of these pennies, it's definitely worth having it looked at by a professional coin grader to see if it's the real deal. Remember, coin collecting can be a hobby that not only connects you to history but can also make you a nice profit if you happen to get lucky. So take a moment to check your change and keep your eyes open for any pennies that seem a little special. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin worth a fortune. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about rare pennies and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep you updated with more tips and information to help you on your coin collecting journey. Thanks for watching and good luck hunting for those rare treasures. Have you ever wondered if the pennies in your pocket might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin from 1975 could be hiding a secret worth over $867,000? Yes, you heard that right. Just one penny. And not just any penny, a 1975 D Lincoln penny. In this video, we're going to take a close look at this incredible coin. We'll talk about its fascinating history, how to identify a genuine version, what makes it so valuable, and how much collectors are willing to pay for it today. If you or someone you know enjoys coin collecting or just wants to know more about valuable coins, you'll want to stick around. So let's dig into the story behind this rare treasure. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, was created to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. The design has changed over the years, but Lincoln's profile has remained a constant symbol of American heritage. By 1975, the penny was well established in American currency. The Denver Mint, marked with a small D just below the date, was one of the three main locations producing coins that year. Most pennies minted in 1975 were standard issue, made by the millions, worth exactly 1 cent, but every now and then something unusual happens during the minting process: an error, a change, or even a mystery. That's where the 1975 D Lincoln penny steps into the spotlight. The 1975 D penny that has captured the attention of collectors is not just a regular coin. What makes this particular coin special is a combination of rarity, condition, and possibly even a striking error that occurred during its production. Some reports suggest that a small number of these coins were accidentally struck using the wrong metal or struck off center, giving them a unique look. Others may have been test coins, never meant for circulation. Whatever the cause, a handful of these pennies turned out to be extremely rare, but the truth is, no one knows exactly how many of these unusual 1975 D pennies exist. That's what makes them so desirable in the world of coin collecting. When rarity meets high demand, prices skyrocket. Now you may be wondering, how do you know if you've got the right coin? Here are the key features to look for. Date: the coin must say 1975 on the front, just below Abraham Lincoln's profile. Mint mark: look just below the date. You should see a small D indicating it was minted in Denver. Material: most 1975 pennies are made of copper and weigh about 3.11 grams. A genuine rare penny might have slight differences in color, luster, or even metal content. Design: the front should feature Lincoln's profile while the back shows the Lincoln Memorial. Errors: if your coin has visible errors like double strikes, off-center images, or incorrect lettering, those could increase its value. Condition: coins that are uncirculated or in mint condition are worth far more than those that are worn or damaged. Be sure to use a magnifying glass and proper lighting to inspect your coins. And if you think you've found something rare, consult a professional coin appraiser. Let's talk money. The value of a 1975 D Lincoln penny depends on its condition and rarity. Worn or circulated coins might be worth just a few cents, maybe a couple of dollars if there's something slightly unusual about them. Uncirculated coins, those that look as if they were just minted yesterday, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Certified rare examples, especially those with errors or in near-perfect condition, have been known to sell for over $867,000 at major auctions. That's right, nearly $1 million for one small penny. These coins are typically graded and authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Serious collectors and investors are always on the lookout for high-grade examples. In recent years, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have reported jaw-dropping sales of rare Lincoln cents, including specimens from the 1970s that reached six-figure prices. There have been stories of lucky individuals who found rare coins in old jars, change purses, or even stuck between floorboards in their homes. One reported case involved a 1975 D penny that sold at auction for nearly $900,000 after being discovered in a collection of old copper coins. The collector had no idea it was valuable until a professional looked at it. That's the beauty of coin collecting. You never know what you might have until you take a closer look. Collectors across the country continue to search for this elusive coin, making it one of the most talked about pennies in recent memory. So the next time you're sorting through loose change or emptying out an old piggy bank, take a moment to look for that 1975 D Lincoln penny. It could be your lucky break. One small cent hidden in plain sight could change your life. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always come in gold or diamonds. Sometimes it comes in copper and it might already be in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and tips for identifying collectible currency, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We post regularly about coin collecting, US mint history, and the hidden gems you might already own, and don't forget to check your change. Your fortune might be just one penny away. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.